Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV, and I'm here with Rogue from the Cruxshadows. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So for anyone that doesn't know about you guys, you want to tell us a little about the band?
I don't know where to begin.
A little history. How did you guys start?
We've been around for a long time. By a long time, I mean several decades. I'm not sure exactly how old we are, but I think Cruxshadows as an entity is right around 27 years old.
Started early 90s, right?
Yeah. 92. So,
wow.
Yeah, been a long time. And, you know, I was very, very young at the time. So,
So what style of music would you consider yourself?
You know, it's funny. You know, what I consider us to be and what the rest of the world considers us to be is probably two different things. A lot of times you find that you're placed into a category or this or that based on other people's ideas about things. We're most often classified as darkwave, I think. I really look at us as in like this. New wave music was still a thing. It was still moving forward at the same trajectory it was moving at before. We would be what new wave music would be, at least in my head.
Cool. Now over time, I mean, how do you think the band's evolved or changed in sounds?
I mean, we've gone through a lot of changes. A lot of different things have happened. A lot of personnel changes. But you know, the songwriting is really centered around me. The arrangements are centered around me. I pick the personnel, so I have the I have that power, and I really direct the way that things have gone. And early on, I think we were just trying to find our feet, kind of trying to find our sound. And then right around I would say 94, 95, it sort of solidified, and then Cruxshadows was defined. And from that point, I think it's been an evolution of that entity. So we still stay true to who we were then, but in a lot of ways we've become much more sophisticated. I think songwriting is progressed and become much more accessible and developed.
Cool. Now I noticed you have a common theme of angels in your songs and music. You want to tell us a little about that?
The Cruxshadows is a strange thing. When I came up with the concepts and ideas for Cruxshadows, they were based around a dream. In fact, it was 5 dreams, and they occurred sequentially, with one dream one night, another dream the next night, another dream the next night. So for 5 nights. And what was really pretty crazy about the whole thing was this repeated 7 times in a row. So I had 5 sequential dreams, one a night, 7 times. That's 35 dreaming nights in a row. And so a lot of these ideas that are in Cruxshadows really come from those dreams. And so it almost has the kind of feeling like the universe is talking to me. In those dreams, the main character, the main central figure, was an angel that initially falls from grace and in the end returns to grace. And it's a kind of a dream of that made sense of so many things on a spiritual level for me. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but when it happens to you, it becomes significant, and that significance is what gave birth to Cruxshadows, at least in terms of its the themes and ideas.
Do you still have dreams that inspire something?
I do, but they don't happen like that anymore. That was a long time ago. And really, what has happened since then, in terms of the themes of the band, is that was sort of the initial ideas, and then it's kind of like one of these games where you discover a new part of the world, and it opens up this map, and now that's part of it. I feel like we keep pushing at the edges of the reality that we've created, and you have more realities opening up. The whole time, one of the things that Cruxshadows tries to do is make music that speaks to people, that has something to say about their lives, that has something to say about things that happen to us on a day-to-day kind of reality. A lot of our music, people say, "Oh, your music is so dark," and in some ways it is really dark, but in some ways it's quite the opposite. We take dark themes and we deal with them head on. Cruxshadows is not a band that writes music about complaining about this or complaining about that. It's really about, you know, strength and hope and the belief that that you know, you can conquer the unfortunate events that happen to all of us over the course of our lives. It's about empowerment, and it's about a kind of personal and spiritual victory that anyone who believes can find.
Yeah, I'm big into lyrics and stuff, especially like I connected a lot of songs like Birthday. I think that's like amazing.
You know, funny thing with Birthday, I mean, that, of course, is a number of years old, and that was one of the, I think that was the second song that we had released that sat at #1 on Billboard. So that was a big deal for us. Birthday was.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, the funny thing about it, you know, the lyrics to Birthday, you know, look at your life, you know, and you know, who do you want to be before you die, and all this kind of stuff. The whole roll out of bed, look in the mirror, and wonder who you are. It's funny. I wrote those lyrics for that song on my birthday, and it literally was exactly that. I rolled out of bed on my birthday, and I was like, you know, where are you? You know, where are you since your last birthday? And you know, and I really wanted to write something that said, hey, you know, look at who you are and become who you want to be, because there's nothing stopping you. I mean, there might be all kinds of things in your way, so many things that seem to stop you or trip you up. But the truth of the matter is, it all happens here. And when it happens here, then it doesn't matter what life throws at you, because you have the strength, you have the power to overcome it.
And you said it sounds dark, but really,
yeah, it does. And then people are like, oh, you're writing a song about, you know, not have, you know, what are you going to die? And I'm like, that's not the point of it. It's not about. It's not. It's saying, you know, we have a limited time. Don't waste your time just getting along in life. You know, take that time and make a difference. Make a difference in other people's lives. Be the person. And there's you know, is it the money and the fame, you know, or how many people might eventually know your name, or maybe you touch one life and the world becomes a better place to be. And I mean, I think that's the idea in it, is that, you know, all of us can make a difference in other people's lives. And I like to write music that encourages people to do that. A lot of times people say, well, Rode, why don't you write music that has a political agenda, or why don't you write something that has something to say about, oh, this terrible thing or that terrible thing? And Cruxshadows as an entity, we don't get involved in politics per se, because I want to write music.
It's more life.
Yeah, I want to write music that gives somebody on the right, somebody on the left, you know, the ideas to do the right thing, care about the people around you. Because it doesn't matter where you are on the political spectrum. If you do what you believe is right, I guarantee the world will be better.
It's true. And so, currently, what are you working on now?
Well, I mean, one of the things we're mostly doing is promoting Astromythology. Astromythology is our latest album. We were on a very big label in Europe. It was associated with Universal. So we were kind of under the Universal umbrella, but things did not go the way that we had hoped, and we became independent once again. But as part of the deal, all of the rights to that album came to us, and we had for the first time, you know, a producer who was brilliant. We had access to those kinds of studios and you know, all the different things that we needed. I was able to take my vision for a song and make it how I wanted it to be. So I love this album, Astromythology. Its first 3 singles in Europe, they went to #1, and #2. So they were appreciated by other people. Yeah. And here in the United States, the first single that came from, really the only song that we've released in the U.S. as a single, went to #11. So you know, that's pretty good.
Yes,
and you know, particularly for a band from the darkwave scene, from the gothic, industrial, darkwave, new wave.
That's what I was going to say, out of all the different bands and stuff in the genre, you guys have definitely gotten your name out in the momentum. How do you think that's happened?
Honestly, it's been hard work. I mean, we've been plugging away things for years and years and years. And you know, the thing is that go out and try and make the things happen that you want to make happen. Doesn't mean things are always going to go your way. Doesn't mean you're going to be an instant success. But when you find that balance internally, I think that it carries over. And we've had a lot of unfortunate events. Some people say Cruxshadows have the worst luck of any band.
I was going to say about your accent, believing in things. It's incredible that you're even here after.
Right, but the funny thing. Okay, so we're driving in a snowstorm, and we basically slipped on the ice and we went down. It was 110 feet. The people that pulled up our vehicle, measured the distance of the grappling post or whatever it was. 110 feet, and 110 feet about a 45-degree angle. And so, but the thing is that we went down that slope and we were pulled down by the trailer.
Were you actually there?
I was the driver.
Oh wow!
So I'm the idiot that they couldn't keep the van on the right, but I'm also the idiot that managed to keep that van upright all the way down. As it started to roll, I spun the wheels the other way, causing the van to tilt the other way, and down that whole snowy ridge, we stayed upright. So on the one hand, you can say, oh yeah, we're so unfortunate because of this accident. And on the other hand, I can tell you, I feel incredibly fortunate. I feel incredibly fortunate because when the police showed up, they said there is no reason why this van should not be upside down. And so bad things happen. Bad things happen to everybody. I think it's how you look at it and how you feel about it that really makes a difference.
All that energy too. Like you said, you put out all that positive energy.
Well, you can't always be positive, but at the same time, if you always believe in yourself and you always believe in what you're doing, and you're willing to look at the whole picture and not necessarily just what how things appear to you at first. A lot of times, we tend to look at the immediacy in a very negative way. Oh, I'm late for this. Well, maybe if you weren't late for that, maybe if you had been on time for that, you might have ended up in a car accident, or some other thing might have happened. We don't know the way that physics sort of weaves through our world, and so I think that there's something to having that happiness, having that balance internal.
So now, if people want to find you online, look you up, how do they do that?
Well, we're Cruxshadows, Cruxshadows. So Cruxshadows.
Not Cruxshadows.
Well, I mean, you know what? If you want to call us Cruxshadows, no problem. You can call me whatever you want. If you're listening and consuming our music, we're happy to have you as one of our fans or one of the people that appreciates what we do. And so but it's Cruxshadows is how it's pronounced. But it's Cruxshadows, is the root words.
What does that actually mean?
Well, it's a good question. So if you are familiar with the logo for the band, you can keep that in mind for 1 second. Root words are crux, Latin word for cross. Shadow is English word for shadow, and literally it means in the shadow of the cross. Right now, the thing is that you may say, well, okay, what exactly are you referring to in the shadow of the cross? In Christian tradition, when Christ was crucified, it was people who were kind of the outcast of society who stood in the shadow of the cross. Even to his inner circle, these people, his apostles, they ran away. They hid. They were scared. They dispersed. And it was, women, prostitute, a tax collector, a kid. These are all people that in that day and age were not really significant in terms of their position in society. And so these are the people that stood in the shadow of the cross. When you think about it like that, and the kind of the reality of that, the inner circle was really the outer circle. It was the people who were the outcasts who were the inner circle. And so Cruxshadows is my way of saying the outcasts who are the most important.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So that's the rationale in my
That's cool.
If you look at our symbol, it's a tri-bar cross, which is the word crux, right? And there's a field of white and a field of dark. And so you literally read it like a hieroglyphic cross shadow, or Cruxshadows. And if you look, you see two circles around the outside. It is the set of the outsider within the set of the insider.
I really like how everything has such in-depth meaning.
And I think,
special.
I think that's the thing, with Cruxshadows. I don't want to just throw stuff out there and see if it sticks. I want to write, music. I want to write words. I want to write emotions that are real and have impact, that tie in together and have meaning. That when people want to strip all the pieces of it, it's like an onion, and you keep digging, and then there's another layer under there, and there's another layer under there, and there's another layer under there. And the deeper you look, hopefully there's something that you need to find. And in a way, I see life that way, and so I want to make art that imitates that life that I see. So the motto for the band: live, love, be, believe.
Awesome. So do you find it difficult for the writing process? You have to be in a certain mindset?
It's interesting because yes, I do. Certain times, things just come to me and it just flows. And other times, I feel like, I can write a song, and I can write what I think is a decent song, but it's not what I should be writing. It's not a real song. It's not the song that I should be making. And so that's something that you have to be in the right mindset. You have to kind of tie into things. So, take for example, Winterborn. Winterborn is one of our more popular songs. It's been popular for many years. It's an older song, and people are like, well, what made you write this? And I saw a picture. I saw a picture of an American soldier in Afghanistan. Okay, and he's holding a kid in his arms, and he's got a machine gun. He's obviously firing it or something, but his leg is shot up, and you can see the drive in this guy's eyes, and you can see the fear in the kid that he's holding. He's protecting this kid. And I read the caption, and it said, "American soldier runs into firefight to rescue, a child didn't know, this kind of thing." Saw it out there. What brings someone to sacrifice everything that they have? Everything that they will be, all of their hopes, all of their dreams, to put it at risk for another human being. And that magical thing, it to me is so incredibly beautiful. Is so incredibly inspiring. That you find people all the time who put themselves at risk, for other people. You take 9/11, terrible event, right? But how many people were in that day had their greatest moment where they in fact went and put at risk their lives, many of them losing it, for the welfare or the benefit of the people around them. And when I see that in humanity, that moves me. That's something that I say, man, I need to, as an artist, capture that and say something with it. And so that picture, that's not what a Winterborn is about, but that is the thing that started me feeling, and started my mind going, and started me thinking down, one step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and the song starts to come together. I tend to think about music the same way that Michelangelo thinks about sculpture, and he always said that the sculpture exists within the stone. All I'm doing is freeing it. So a lot of times when I write music, I feel really good about what I've written. I feel like instead of writing a song, I have discovered a song inside me.
Interesting. Well, it was good talking with you.
Nice to talk to
Everybody,
you.
look them up.
Definitely.